And just in time for first pitch, we welcome you to the softball field on the campus of Urbana High School. Today it's Big 12 softball on the Tigers Media Network as our 10-16 Urbana Tigers take on Peoria Richwoods and strike one after a foul ball from the first batter of the game, Paige Harper for Richwoods. On the mound for Urbana, it's Autumn Dysert. Behind the plate, Aaron Wright. As we're glad to have you with us on the Tigers Media Network for another presentation of Tigers softball. This is popped up, and it will clear the backstop. Foul ball, strike number 2 to Harper. Some storylines to watch as the morning moves along. Can the Tigers keep their hot streak going as this is popped up into left field, gloved by Shea Feller for out number 1. The Tigers started this season 1-8. They've since gone on a bit of a tear. They're now 10-16, looking pretty good as we approach regionals. And into the box, second batter, Quinn Desert Payne, the center fielder for the Knights. Pitch from Dysert's a little high, ball 1. And now Payne to Dysert. Over to Lauren Madsen at first, and check that was actually Kinsey Smith at second base who made the play. So now 2 outs in the top half of the first frame, and it's going to be Haley Buckley, the catcher for Richwoods, in to try and find their first hit of the morning. And what a beautiful morning it is here in Urbana. Temperature right around 70 degrees, little breeze. Ripped down the first base line and foul from Buckley. Little breeze, but it's not too bad. In fact, it's very good. As Buckley in the box with an 0-1 count. Foul to the backstop, strike 2. Tigers defensively, it's Lauren Madsen at first base. Second base is Kinsey Smith. Shortstop, Maddie Sanders. At third base is Zoe Ford. The outfield, Cassidy Russell is in right field. Mercedes Williams in center. And Shea Feller over there in left field to complete the Tigers' defensive alignment. And, of course, I mentioned earlier, that's Aaron Wright behind the plate. Fouled into the parking lot, so it's going to be 1-2 here and off of a car. That's the risky run here at the softball field on the campus of Urbana High School. These cars, they can't avoid them all. They're stationary, the ball's not. And that's ball 2 from Dysert, excuse me. And lifted. Looks like Sanders is going to get it at short. 1, 2, 3 go the Knights in the top of the first. A nice inning from Autumn Dysert. And now we'll see the Tigers' bats as we move into the bottom half of the second inning. Scoring the game at home, that was an F7, a 4-3, and an F6 in a quick top of the first. And now we'll look at the lineup for Urbana. Leading things off, the shortstop, Maddie Sanders. Marley Glenn, the designated hitter, bats second. Lauren Madsen at first base bats third. Aaron Wright behind the plate bats fourth. Mercedes Williams in center field bats fifth. And batting sixth, the left fielder, Shea Feller. It's Kinsey Smith at second base batting seventh. Zoe Ford at third base bats eighth. And rounding things out is Cassidy Russell in right field. And on the mound, or rather in the circle, but not in the batting order, of course, is Autumn Dysert. A look at the defensive alignment for Peoria Richwoods. In the circle is Paige Harper. Behind the plate is Haley Buckley. The first baseman is going to be Morella Eldridge. At second base, Grace Hovelman. Shortstop is Maria Lopez, and then Amaya Wilson is at third base. In left field, it's Catherine Setti. Center fielder is Quinn Desert Payne, and in right field is Sarika Glasnovic. That's how the Knights shake out defensively. As we await Maddie Sanders' first at-bat of the game. And this front four for the Tigers lineup, the whole lineup is dangerous, but you look at this front four especially. Maddie Sanders, Marley Glenn, Lauren Madsen, and Aaron Wright, the best four hitters the Tigers have. So this top of the order, pretty dangerous. And if they can provide an early spark for the Tigers, there's no telling how this game could go. They've got Richwoods right where they want them. And now it'll be Maddie Sanders, one of the better leadoff batters in the Big 12 for her first plate appearance. And the first pitch from Paige Harper is going to be low and inside. It's ball one. And Sanders chops it. It is going to get into the outfield. A base hit for Maddie Sanders to lead things off for Urbana. It's the first hit of the game for either side, and that was just a pretty perfectly placed ball right between short and third. Good effort from Richwoods to try and get that, but they just couldn't do it, and Sanders is aboard with a base hit. Now it's Marley Glenn, the designated hitter for the Tigers. Takes strike one. Don't be surprised to see Maddie steal second here. That's how Coach Billy Harmon likes to play things. He'll send a runner in motion, try and provide a spark. Yeah, as Glenn's going to step out and go talk to Harmon, so we'll see what the game plan here is. Marley missed a good portion of this season with a concussion. Glad to see her back in action today. The 0-1, she's going to try and bunt. Sanders trying to take second. Good throw, but she's in there in time. Throw pulled the shortstop off the bag a little bit there, Lopez. So maybe not a great throw, but it gave him a chance. But Sanders was too quick, swipes second base. Glenn's going to try and bunt again. Gloved in the circle. And Paige Harper throws Glenn out, but Sanders takes third. So now it's going to be Lauren Madsen with a runner in scoring position and one out. Could see a sac fly here. We could see, even a base hit's going to be enough to get Maddie home. Strike one. And Maddie might be quick enough to even a ground ball to the right side of the infield. That could be enough. We'll have to see how it plays out. 0-1 to Lauren. And she rips one to short. It's gloved. That was a frozen rope right at Lopez. Throw back to third. Not in time, but man, that was not a whole lot more you could do there if you're Lauren Madsen. That was a rocket right to short. So Sanders will stay at third, and we have two outs. Aaron Wright, dangerous catcher for the Tigers, is in, takes ball one. So this eliminates the sac fly possibility. And Wright rips one, right field. It's going to take a bounce. It's going to go almost to the wall, and Aaron's looking for third base. She's going to get it. Harmon was waving her home and told her to stop right as she got to the bag. An RBI triple for Aaron Wright. Yeah, Coach Harmon thought she might have had a chance there and said put on the brakes. Aaron almost kind of looked like she almost fell down just trying to stop because that ball was in the infield by the time she took third. Mercedes Williams in the box now. Strike one. Williams, a power bat for the Tigers. She can go deep. This one gets past Buckley behind the plate, and Aaron will hold it third, 1-1. One offering to Williams, grounded to short, fielded by Lopez. Throw across the diamond to Morella Eldridge is in time. So the Tigers plate one in the bottom of the first. And they lead 1-0 now heading into the second inning. It'll be Shea Feller, Kinsey Smith, and Zoe Ford for the Tigers in the bottom of the second. But first for Richwoods, we are going to see Amaya Wilson, Maria Lopez, and Grace Hovelman, the third baseman, shortstop, and second baseman for the Knights coming up in the top of the second. Dysert back out for round two. Faced 3 batters and recorded 3 outs so far, not bad. And here's Wilson. 4.56 is usually when you see some power in the lineup. And Wilson takes strike 1. Ball 1. Richwoods dugout coming alive, cheering her on. 1-1. First at bat at the top of the second. And this is popped right up to Dysert. She makes the play for the first out of the frame. Nice play from Autumn there. That ball had some spin to it. Definitely a little hard to read off the bat. But she adjusted, made the play, and now fires a strike to Maria Lopez, the Knights shortstop. Lopez pops it up to second base. Rather, it's going to go into right field, and Cassidy Russell makes the play. 5 up, 5 down for Autumn Dysert. And you go back to, I just want to go back real quick to the bottom of the first. That was a stellar defensive inning from Lopez. Not only caught that liner from Lauren, but then nice throw across the diamond for what was ultimately the final out of the frame. Chop back to Dysert now from Grace Hovelman. She'll throw over to Lauren Matson. 6 up, 6 down for the Tigers. Can't ask for a better start than that. We go to the bottom of the second. The Tigers are up 1-0. So a bit of a do-it-yourself inning there from Dysert. Caught the fly ball from Wilson for the first out. Threw the grounder from Hovelman over to Madsen for the third out, and then Maria Lopez. That was a fly ball to Cassidy Russell. Right in between those two efforts. Six, 7, and 8 hitters due up for Urbana. Shea Feller, Kinsey Smith, and Zoe Ford. Feller in left, Kinsey at second, and Zoe at third. And Shea Feller's been having a pretty good season. Her bat has really come alive. Been a power threat for the Tigers. Homered in a loss to Danville the other night. And takes ball 1. And this is a game where if you're Richwoods pitcher, Paige Harper, you know, you're down 1-0. Your team hasn't gotten a hit yet. It might feel like you're down a little more, so you've just got to keep your head in the game and keep going. And it looks like she's doing that here, 1-1. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Game like this, you've just got to keep your team in it until the bats come alive. And, you know, you've got to hope that they do come alive if you're Paige Harper. But we'll see how she handles this bottom of the second, and she handles it pretty well there with a strikeout to Shea Feller. First strikeout of the game for the Tigers, and it'll bring in Kinsey Smith. Smith, a senior for this Tigers team. Longtime player. And lifts one pretty well foul down the left field line. Pretty good defensive game already from Kinsey. You recall second out of the game was a ground ball to her at second base. Behind in the count, 0-1. And she lifts one pretty well. This is into left center field, and it's going to be gloved in center field by Quinn Desert Payne for the second out, but a well-hit ball. And we'll see if that can spark anything from Zoe Ford, the third baseman. Cassidy Russell on deck should the Tigers, should Zoe Ford get on base here. 0-1, rather 1-0. And she grounds one foul down the third base line. And from Harper, it's grounded to short. Throw across the diamond to Eldridge is in time. Tigers go down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the second, and we go to the top of the third inning. Urbana leads Richwoods. It's 1-0. So now that's 6 outs that the shortstop, Maria Lopez, has initiated. Liner in the first, and then ground ball in the first, and then a ground ball right there. And due up for Richwoods, it's going to be Morella Eldridge, the first baseman, then Catherine Setti in left field, and Sarika Glasnovic in right field. Pretty good crowd here today. A lot of Tigers fans and parents, and looks like a fair amount of people from Peoria have made the trip here to watch their Richwoods Knights. I see some dogs over there on the first base side. Strike one, 2 very cute dogs if we're being honest. So strike number 1. And it looks like they're having a good time over there, as this is almost lined, chopped into the dugout. Oh, and 2 to Eldridge. And she'll foul one into the parking lot. It does hit a car, but off the bounce. Not enough to leave a dent. Oh, and 2. I've never seen it happen, but there have been windshields broken in the parking lot. Grounded to Matson for the out. It has happened in a game while I've been in high school. Not a game I was at. Story goes, I think it was Lauren Matson who actually broke our stats teacher's windshield with a foul ball. And that was Matson who made the unassisted play over there at first base for the most recent out. Brings in Catherine Setti. And one thing I want to point out what the Tigers just did, we'll hold that thought. Grounder to Sanders, going to be a close play at first, throw across the bag and safe. Looked like Matson made the scoop, but I guess Catherine Setti just legged it out. So the first base runner of the game for Richwoods. I don't know if I'd call that an error because it looked like Matson had the ball and had her foot on the bag. So I guess an infield single there for Setti. But one thing the Tigers did there before that was they huddled up in the circle and just looked like they high-fived each other and said, hey guys, this is going pretty well. Let's keep it going. Foul ball to the backstop. It's 2-1 to Sarika Glasnovic, the right fielder. And Glasnovic lifts one into right field. Russell is there. She'll make the play. 2 outs. second fly ball that Russell has caught today. And we go back to the top of the order. We flip over to see Paige Harper, the pitcher, in for her second at-bat. Remember, she flew out to Shea Feller in left field for the first out of the game, takes ball one. Foul to the backstop, strike one. 1-1 with Glasnovic on, Catherine Setti on first base. And ball two. On deck would be Quinn Desert Payne. And lifted high, I think it's foul, down the left field line. And it's caught out there by Shea Feller. And folks, I apologize, that's the one area where I can't see. We've got the third base dugout blocking my view. That was lifted high and pretty far out there to left field. Shea Feller makes the catch for the third out. Yeah, anything to that left field corner, I've just got to kind of rely on the crowd. So the Tigers allow a hit, the first hit of the game for Richwoods. That's how I'm going to score it. But no damage done as Setti stranded on first base. Solid inning from Dysert and the Tigers defense. And we're going to see Cassidy Russell, then back to the top of the order, Maddie Sanders, Marley Glenn, the three batters that we will see for sure for Urbana, barring, of course, any substitutions. And Cassidy Russell into the batter's box. Lucky number 13. And Russell, another longtime senior, longtime player who is a senior, I should say, for Urbana. Not a longtime senior. That wouldn't be quite as worth mentioning, but tries to bunt, pulls back, ball one. And the 1-0 in there for strike one. 1-1. And if Cassidy can just find a way on base, let the top of the order take over. Shows bunt, pulls back. It's ball two. 2-1. Showing bunt, drops it down. Gloved by Harper. Throw to first is dropped and not recovered in time. Russell is safe at first. Cassidy Russell, the error from the third baseman, lets her aboard. And now Maddie Sanders with the chance to get things going. One on, no outs, bottom third. Shows bunt, also a good bunt down the third base line. Going to be a close play at first. Sanders is safe. And throw into third isn't going to be in time. Cassidy Russell to third. So now it's going to be runners at the corners for Marley Glenn. The power of the bunt. And now we'll see if Marley swings the bat. Remember, her first at-bat of the game. A bunt right back to the pitcher. That was gloved and thrown to first for the first out of that inning. Sanders takes second, so now Marley's got two in scoring position. Lauren Matson on deck for the Tigers. And Glenn lifted high and deep center field. That's going to be over the wall, a three-run home run. Marley Glenn goes deep, gives the Tigers a 4-0 lead. A ball that barely cleared the fence. How about that? In fact, center fielder Desert Payne out there fell over the wall trying to get it. And that'll spark the Tigers. Here's Matson. Takes ball one. And that is the spark the Tigers needed. So now Matson's in 1-0. And at this softball field, sometimes it's hard to tell if a ball's going out, if it's got enough, or if it's going to stay in the yard. And, folks, I think everyone here knew that had a chance off the bat. As Matson's now ahead 3-0, and I think Paige Harper might be a little frustrated out there in the circle. Strike one. Tigers still don't have an out. No outs here in the bottom of the third, and they've already plated 3. Grounded foul to third base, so nice job from Harper battling back. It's now full. Grounded foul, third base. So a full count and a 4-run lead for the Tigers. Swing and a miss, Matson strikes out. And credit to Paige Harper there. Battling back, gave up a home run, then went behind 3-0 in the count. Battled back, gets the strikeout. Sun beginning to show through here in Urbana. Warming up just a little bit. This is ripped high, and this is going to get gone too. Home run, Aaron Wright. And that was a no-doubter. And that got out of here in a hurry. Aaron Wright comes home to score. A home run for her. 5-0 Urbana. And that was a shot. So a 4-run inning already, 2 home runs. And now we're just getting to the power threats. Mercedes Williams and Shea Feller due up next, folks. And when I think home runs and Tiger softball, Sadie's and Shea are the 2 names that come to mind. I mean, everyone else on the team has that capability, as we've seen. But Shea and Mercedes can do it regularly. They're fun to watch. 1-1 the count. To Williams. The next 3 batters we'll see, Sadie, Shea, and then Kinsey. All 3 of them are seniors. And I say that because only a few games left in their careers. This popped up to third base and gloved it short for the out. Only a few games left in their careers. Senior night next week, Thursday night. Against Muhammad Seymour, was originally supposed to be played against Peoria Manual, now against Muhammad Seymour. Manual had to cancel, and Muhammad Seymour is going to play us next week on Thursday on senior night. And you can catch that live on the Tigers Media Network. So now 2 outs for Shea Feller. 1-1 the count to her. Ball 2. On deck would, of course, be Kinsey Smith, as I mentioned. And skips to the catcher, 2-2. This is a doubleheader today. We'll only have game 1. But the Knights and the Tigers will play 2 games today. Inside, and ball 4, a walk. Feller moseys down to first, and it's going to be Kinsey Smith. Smith 0 for 1 today, flew out to center field, a well-hit ball last inning. Move Zoe Ford to the on-deck circle with 2 outs. High ball 2. I don't think we'll see Feller try and take second base. I think she'll stay at first. Richwoods has to look forward to having their 2, 3, 4 batters due up in the bottom half. And, of course, I say that this skips past Haley Buckley behind the plate. Feller will advance to second base, 3-0. And Richwoods is going to call time and meet up in the circle. And they call time with Urbana up 5-0. We're in the bottom of the third, 2 outs. Just joining us, it has been a big inning for Urbana, a 3-run home run from Marley Glenn, and then a solo shot from Aaron Wright. Adds to what was already a 1-0 lead, so now they're up 5. 2 outs, now 1 in scoring position, that's Shea Feller. Kinsey Smith is the batter for Urbana. And in the circle for Richwoods, trying to get out of a tough inning. Paige Harper fires strike 1, a good start. And Harper's done a pretty good job. You know, she struck out Lauren Matson after Marley's home run, and then induced a little pop fly to short after Aaron went deep. But Feller's going to come home there. I'm not quite sure what was going on in short left center. As a little bloop shot from Kinsey fell in between the outfielders. Feller comes home at 6-0 Urbana. And a bunt from Zoe Ford. She's going to be safe. Kinsey's looking at third. She'll slide in safely, so now runners at the corners. And the Tigers have batted around. We're coming back to Cassidy Russell. Russell, remember, she got this going, reached first on an error to lead things off. And taking second base is going to be Zoe Ford, and Kinsey's going to come home, a throw that went into the outfield. And Zoe Ford all the way to third safely. So Zoe at third, Cassie Russell at the plate. Kinsey Smith just came home to score. 7-0 Urbana in the third. Strike 1. Strike 2, rather. And Russell's going to strike out looking to end the third, but not before the Tigers push across. 6 runs, home runs from Marley Glenn and Aaron Wright. Key, big inning for the Tigers. We go to the top of the fourth, Urbana with a 7-0 advantage. So it'll be Quinn Desert Payne, Haley Buckley, and Amia Wilson. Center fielder, catcher, and third baseman for Richwoods. None of those three have reached base so far. They're all 0 for 1. And Dysert, of course, back out for another inning on the mound. So we'll see if the Tigers can keep it going. First pitch of the top of the fourth. Ball 1. It's only been about a half an hour since we got it started. Already in the top of the fourth inning. This is popped up and foul onto Washington Street behind the field. And fouled for strike 2. Just joining us, I am Joey Wright. Jason Liggett is behind the camera. Tigers with a 7-0 lead. No outs for Richwoods. We're in the top of the first. Top of the fourth. Still early on a Saturday morning, I should say, 10:30. I'd be in bed if we didn't have a game today, so you take what you can get. Oh, got a little drama here. We got a guy walking his dog behind the field. And one of the dogs here in attendance today, not quite sure how he feels about that. Or maybe he wants a friend. Whatever the dog wants. That was a fly ball to Zoe Ford. I was going to say whoever the Tigers had at third for the first out. And popped up. Ford roams over. She'll get this one, too. 2 fly balls to Zoe Ford in a row. 2 outs in a row. 2 outs, top of the fourth. And Dysert's locked and loaded for the Tigers today. Mia Wilson, the third baseman, due in, and she'll get the first clean hit of the day for Richwoods. That was lined right back at Dysert. And that's how you want to hit the ball. Right back up the middle means you're on it. Amaya Wilson was on it there. Base hit, and we'll see if the Knights can build on that. Ball 1. And ball 2. On deck would be Grace Hovelman. 2-0. High, strike 1. Chopped between Sanders and Ford. And the Tigers building, rather the Knights building some momentum. 2 base hits in a row. This is the most base runners they've had aboard and once all day. Wilson at second, Lopez at first, Hovelman at the plate with 2 outs, trying to give the Knights a spark that they so desperately need, and she grounds this one to Sanders. Throw across the diamond is in time to Madsen. So the Tigers get out of what potentially could have snowballed into something big. And the Knights strand 2 runners on. We're going to the bottom of the fourth with the Tigers up 7-0. It'll be Morella Eldridge, Catherine Setti, and Sarika Glasnovic for the Knights in the top of the 5th. And the top of the order for Urbana, Maddie Sanders, Marley Glenn, and Lauren Matson. Due in to start the bottom half of the 4th frame. Look at what Sanders has done, 2 for 2 with 2 singles. Marley Glenn, 1 for 2, but that one hit the 3-run home run 1 inning ago, and Lauren Matson is 0 for 2. But one of those 2 outs was that hard hit line ball to shortstop that maybe 75% of the time is going to get you on base. So this top of the order has had some success today. And we'll see if Sanders can keep it going. 2 for 2 into the box for the 3rd time today. Take strike 1. Quick reminder that Tuesday on the Tigers Media Network, it is senior night for the baseball team. They host the Mattoon Green Wave, 4:30 on the Tigers Media Network. It's been a successful season for our baseball team so far, and see if they can end on a good note. Senior night against Mattoon, Tuesday, 4:30, right here on the Tigers Media Network. We'll stream it live on Facebook for you. Sounds pretty good to me. Sanders took second base there. That was a base hit that went into left field. And she was able to get to second base. So that brings in, it's going to be Autumn Dysert in for Marley Glenn, it looks like. I mean, it is Autumn Dysert at the plate. Takes ball 1. And I think Coach Billy Harmon figures his players have done pretty good to this point. Give everyone a chance to play here. Strike 1 to Autumn. Matson's still on deck. And a bunt that goes back to the backstop. Foul ball. Okay, so I don't think Harmon's going to empty the bench or anything, but I think you figure Dysert's the one player who's in the lineup but not scheduled to hit. Marley's already hit a 3-run home run. Put Autumn in, see what she can do. Chops one to second. It's gloved and flipped over to first for the first out of the inning. But Maddie Sanders will advance to third, so this is the same situation we saw Lauren Matson enter in the first inning, where Maddie Sanders was at third and Matson was up. And ultimately the Tigers advanced her, but it was not Lauren Matson that got the RBI. In the dirt, Buckley recovers. 2-0. Really? Okay, I'm told it's not a doubleheader. I figured that it was, but only one pitcher for Peoria Richwoods, so not a doubleheader. We were only going to have the first one for you today anyways, so not missing anything. Three and 1 to Lauren Matson. I tell you, though, beautiful day it would be for a doubleheader. It is not expected to warm up past about 74 today. It's about 72 right now, if I had to guess. Maybe a little cooler. But just, yeah, about 74 today's high. It's cloudy. So the sun right now is kind of peeking its way out from behind the cloud, but it's really nice out here, I can tell you that. 3-2, full count. And ball 4. Sanders is coming home. Flip to the pitcher covering, not in time. Ball 4, and Sanders comes home. Matson aboard for the first time today, and now it's Aaron Wright. 2 for 2 with a triple and a home run. Thus far, we'll see if she can keep it going. Strike one, Matson. Looked like she was going to try and take second. Held up, goes back to first. And now she's going to take second. Throw in time, but the tag not in time. And it's 0-2. She picked this is a good pitch for Buckley to make the throw. And the throw was in time. The tag was not applied. Still 0-2, foul ball. Mercedes Williams on deck. And high, ball one. Oh, lifted high. If it's fair, it's gone. It's out. It's caught. Okay. Folks, that's what I tell you. That corner's tough to see. I can't see it, but it looked like it had enough off the bat, and then it just kind of died out there, so. Well, all right. Raven Russell in for Mercedes Williams. Now 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth. Russell, the winning pitcher for the Tigers yesterday against Cerro Gordo Bement. Takes ball 2. Shea Feller's in the on-deck circle. We'll see if the Tigers make a substitution or not. Ball 3. 3-0. And Russell will take first base. It'll be Shea Feller coming in now with runners at the corners. Rather, runners at second and first. Swing and a miss, strike one. Shows bunt, drops it down. Gloved at third, throw not in time. And everyone's safe for Esri Vesley, who will come in for Kinsey Smith. Big situation to enter here for Esri. Bases are loaded, 2 outs. We'll see what she can do. Ball 1. Zoe Ford still in the on-deck circle. Check over at third and Matson. Nothing going on. 2-0 and the base is loaded. 8-0 lead for the Tigers, and now in the IHSA, if you lead by 10 runs after 5, the game is over. Ball 3, and I think it's 15 runs after 4. I don't think it'll get to that point. But the Tigers still definitely with a chance to end this one a little early. Strike 1 to Esri. Grounded to third, and the force out recorded by Amaya Wilson. She gloves it, steps on the bag for the third out. The Tigers strand the bases loaded, but still lead by 8 as we enter the 5th inning of play. Yep. Yeah, folks, we're just playing one game today, not the normal Saturday doubleheader that I thought it was. And, you know, a lot of times you'll see teams meet up for a doubleheader on Saturday. I'm told Richwoods only has one pitcher, so that's probably the reason why we are only playing one this morning. As Autumn Dysart's going to come out for a 5th inning of work. And here we go, top of the 5th. Richwoods trying to get something going, strike 1. And chopped to Sanders. She'll throw across the diamond in time. 1 out. And that was Allie Johnson batting for Morella Eldridge. 1 out. 37, Haley Bartles is in now, replacing Catherine Setti. The left fielder now with 1 out. We'll see if she can get things rolling. Popped up into the parking lot. And a new one there. It hit a baby stroller, luckily on the bounce. No babies harmed there. 0-2. Swing and a miss from Bartles, 2 outs. And a third substitution. Marianella Montez is in. Batting for Sarika Glasnovic. Ball 1. Strike 1 to Montez. Order rolls over for Richwoods after this. It's Paige Harper on deck. And fouled into the parking lot. So we'll do it again, 1-2. And right to Sanders. She'll throw to Matson. Errant into the dugout. Ground rule double is what it should be here. Yep. So Sanders a little wild on the throw into the dugout. And if a ball goes into the dugout, base runner automatically takes an extra base there, in that case from first to second. That's your extra base. Ground rule double. To the top of the order in Paige Harper with a runner in scoring position, strike one. And for the Tigers, 2 runs away from a potential victory. Zoe Ford and Cassidy Russell would be the next 2 to bat in the bottom of the 5th. Ball 1. High for ball 2, 2-2 the count. And to the backstop, still 2-2. And if Dysert can get out of this, that's 5 shutout innings for her. Popped up. Matson makes the play for the 3rd out. 5 shutout innings from Autumn Dysert. And she's potentially just 2 Tigers runs in the bottom half of the 5th away from a win. I mentioned Zoe Ford, Cassidy Russell, Maddie Sanders. The 3 we will see for Urbana. Just joining us, we are in the bottom of the 5th inning. The Tigers are up 8-0. Led by a big 3rd inning. They scored 6 runs in that frame. 3-run home run from Marley Glenn. A solo home run from Aaron Wright. The key factors in that 6-run inning. Up 8-0 now, bottom 5. They only need 2 runs to secure a Mercy Rule victory. IHSA. 10-run lead after 5 is as good as game in the rule book. So we'll see if the Tigers can mount a little mini charge and score twice. It'll be Zoe Ford into the batter's box for the 3rd time. Reached base in the 3rd inning and grounded out to short in the 2nd. And then on deck is Courtney Falk. She'll bat for Cassidy Russell. Ball 1. Ball 2, 2-0 count to Ford. Ball 3, it's 3-0. And with Falk on deck, we'll see. Strike 1. Not the first time we've seen Harbor battle back from being behind 3-0 and then fires strike 1. And now Ford will take first. Ball 4. So what would be the winning run at first base Potential winning run at first base, I should say. Strike one. Ball one. It's 1-1. Skips to Buckley, and taking second is Ford. So it's 2-1 now to Falk, with Sanders on deck. Off the backstop. 2-2. And here we go. Chopped too short. Throw across the diamond in time. But taking third is Ford. Back to the top of the order. Here's Maddie Sanders with Autumn Dysert now on deck. Oh, Harmon's calling for Marley Glenn, so Dysert not on deck, and we'll see Marley bat again. And I wouldn't expect Ford to come home even on a passed ball, but we'll see. Depends on the passed ball. Lifted center field. Caught. Tagging is Ford. 9-0 the lead for Urbana. So Marley Glenn at the plate. The winning run is now at the plate. I don't know what I was talking about earlier where it was on first. And no, the winning run now at the plate. And that's a bloop single for Marley Glenn. Just over the glove of the first baseman, Allie Johnson. Looked like she got it off the end of her bat. And here's Lauren Matson with the winning run at first base. Nice breeze coming in. And here's Matson into left field. It falls, rolling to the wall. Harmon waving Glenn home. And the Tigers are going to put this one in the win column. Matson's base hit into left field brings Marley Glenn around from first base, and the Tigers a win against Big 12 foe Richwoods here in Urbana in 5 innings. Your final score is 10-0. Tigers will advance to 11-16 on the year, continuing their hot streak. It was a bit of a rough start to the season, but the Tigers have found it now. And we'll have them again on senior night next Thursday, rather this Thursday, I guess you'd say, against Mahomet Seymour at 4:30. Our next broadcast senior night for the baseball team, Tuesday at 4:30. That against Mattoon, so tune into that. We'll have it live on Facebook. For now, for Jason Liggett, I'm Joey Wright. Your final score is Urbana 10, Peoria Richwoods nothing. Thank you so much for tuning in.